My name is Samista Ellis. I'm a deputy principal at the Antigua Girls High School.
My journey started from an incident that happened in school. Well, maybe that was more the turning point. I love what I do and I was loving my job, but I was at a point where I was feeling very pressured and I was doing a lot, doing the job, going home, giving classes, and just constantly on the go, never making any time for myself because everything I did was always for everybody else. And we were having this class, and I would guess my behavior was not of my best and highest. And she actually wrote a note and was passing it around in the class, and I intercepted the note. And when I read it, I felt hurt because it normally hurts when it's the truth, you know? So she mentioned how miserable I was and how unpleasant the classroom experience was on that particular day. And they would have had different experiences before. So I think this stood out to her on that particular day. So that was really the turning point to let me do some self-reflection and realize that something had to change and that something wasn't going to happen from the outside. That something that had to change had to be me. I taught modern languages at the time that I was teaching, and this teacher came, she joined the staff, she was teaching French, and we really clicked. And she spoke to me about this journey that she took. She did a rites of passage with Sacred Goddess Temple, and it was like, yes, this is the thing, this is what you should be doing next. I've always been an avid reader, so I grew up seeing my mom read a lot of Iyanla, etc., Wayne Dyer, and those things. So I've always been connected in a way, but this time the connection was deepened. And so after she told me about the rites of passage by Sacred Goddess Temple, there was another cohort coming up and I quickly joined, and that was a pivotal point in my journey. But there was a woman visiting from Canada and a friend of mine, a close sister of mine, who is very much into holistic wellness, etc. I normally do like detox experiences with her. So over 2 weeks, we do clean eating, we do a lot of meditating, etc. And this lady came from Canada, she was visiting, and she was going to do a meditation on the beach. So my friend knew that I was on this path and she decided to invite me. And at the first meditation, she mentioned that she wasn't going to be there for, it wasn't like she was living here, she was just visiting, and she wanted somebody to continue. And I'm there sitting down, I'm like, okay, that seems as though it's going to be me. One day she decided to call me because she needed a ride to the meditation. So what she did monthly full moon meditations. And one time she needed a ride and she called and she said, Samista, I spoke about me not being here and I've done my meditating and my prayer, and I was told that you should continue. That's in 2019, in April, on the full moon of that month, I did my first meditation all by myself, and I continued it all through that time. Then we know that the pandemic came, we could not meet as we would have liked to. I actually pushed my boundaries and did it online. When we could meet, I found a different space because you couldn't meet on the beach. You had to get permission. But all of those things, even though they seemed like obstacles in my path, it just pushed me, impulsed me more to share because I see that I was giving a much needed service to my community. But I allow them the freedom to let them know that this is their practice. I'm just the channel for facilitation of what they may need on any particular day. We have challenges in life. There are times when we're going to have to push beyond what we're comfortable doing. So my classes encourage them to go beyond their limits, and not just the limits of the body, but the body is ruled by the mind. and the spirit. So it's bridging or going across that bridge to get to that point. And I know sometimes when we're in the final Shavasana and I'm already up and ready to close the class and nobody's moving. When you're on a mission, so let's say you've decided that you want more peace in your life, that is when the challenges come to say, well, let's see if you're really serious about what you are asking to become. Because these things, they just don't happen. You don't find peace and when you go somewhere and everybody is peaceful and that kind of thing. You have to be able to find your peace in the midst of chaos, when things seem to be falling apart around you, when nothing seems to be going right, when you feel hopeless. You have to know that there is a place that you can come to where you can know that all is well. If you're having mental blocks, the thing is always to keep practicing. A lot of the times when we meet a block, we tend to pull back or we tend to stop because we think what we're doing is not working. But the thing is to continue practicing, and slowly but surely you begin to release all of those blocks that you would have at your own pace, because of course people are going through different challenges, and it's not to say that you know what everybody's going through or what level they're at, but the thing is to keep practicing, to continue to be intentional. Some days you may come to the mat or you may arrive at your job and you're all good, you're getting into the poses, you're able to ease into whatever you're doing, and then another day, for some reason that you may not even realize, you're not at the same place. Something that you're normally able to do easily, it's just not coming on that day. You have to give yourself grace, allow yourself that peace to know that it is not a permanent situation. It's a passing thing. You allow it to happen, you let it pass, and you keep moving. So that's what I would advise for anybody who's experiencing any mental blocks. And I think your self-talk is important as well, because a lot of the times we keep confirming the situations that we want to move out of with the things that we say, the things that we think, and how our actions continue to be informed by those things. So it's looking to change your talk as well to a more positive, loving, receptive place. For yoga in the yard, I go under the name of Beautiful Blue Butterfly, and I'm sure you can see a few in the background. It's just something that calls to me. It has called to me for quite a few years now, so I decided to have that as my business name. So I have Yoga in the Yard. I am on Instagram as I am the Beautiful Blue Butterfly, and that's my Instagram handle. I can be emailed at iamthebeautifulbluebutterfly@gmail.com. Yoga in the Yard is Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. And this is in Lightfoot Meadows, in Lightfoot, in the parish of St. George, in Antigua. Open to everybody, all levels, giving everybody lots of love, light, and peace. And I look forward to continue serving my community in the way that I do now, and in any other way that becomes possible as time goes by.